In this video, I'm gonna give you 8 simple ways to drop a massive amount of shots off your score that basically anyone can do. You know those days when you go on the course and it's like, man, I feel like I couldn't even hit it into the ocean off the tee. This shot is a great shot that basically always ensures that you can put the ball in play so you can have a next shot. So what I want you to do is just tee the ball up really, really low, right? You're basically gonna have it at the bottom, like the bottom of part of the driver. And what this does is essentially allows you to just kind of like, almost like a second serve, right? Like in tennis, where you have the first one, it's a fault, and the second one you need to get in play. By teeing it up low, it allows you to ensure that you're gonna hit it in the fairway, get it in play, so that you can have an approach into the green. Now, the second simple tip that I want to give you is finding the center of the face. See, if you hit a golf ball 1 centimeter off from the center, it equates to 15 yards offline and 15 yards shorter, because that's 5 mile-an-hour drop in ball speed. So how do you make sure that you hit the center? You just swing in balance. So what I want you to do is, rather than trying to sit up and like take these shots and like grip it and rip it, what I want you to do is just try to swing at 75% tempo, because if you do that, you're ensuring that you have great balance and that now you can hit the center of the face and lower your score. So here's the third simple tip to lower your scores. When you play golf, always take one more club than what you think. The reason is that if you look at the PGA Tour even, and you ask them to hit a shot that's, say, 160 yards, they will hit 65% of their shots short of that desired distance. Who is the best of all time? You guessed it, Tiger Woods. He hit 49% long, 51% short. So we want to make it so that you can hit more greens. And there is no doubt, the math says it, that the fastest way to lower your scores is hitting more greens. So right here, I am 160 yards. Rather than hitting my 8-iron, I'm going to hit my 7-iron, so that now I can just hit a normal shot with great tempo and ensure that my distance control is on point. When you have a shot that's like this, instead of using a wedge and trying to get fancy and either flubbing it or blading it over the green in the bunker or the water, just putt it. Because the stats show that in a round of golf, you have 16 shots somewhere within 50 yards or 40 yards of the green, and you will miss the green 6 times. So we're not talking about even getting up and down. I'm just saying putting this ball on this surface. But if you take a putt and you're putting this ball 9 times out of 10, your putter will be better and hit it closer to the hole than chipping it, and it will always work. Your worst putt will always be better than your best or average chip. So this is a much safer way to start lowering your scores, because the truth is, to lower your score, we really just need to eliminate the big numbers like the doubles and the triples. And by doing this, we eliminate those flub-a-dubs and those skulls over the green. So that's the next tip to lower your score. What about when you hit it in the rough? Everyone hits in the rough. Why? Because you're a human being and you're gonna hit some poor shots sometimes. But what do you do when you're in the rough? Here's what you want to do. I want you to take your lead hand and I want you to take the bottom 3 fingers and I want you to grip the club as hard as you possibly can. And quite frankly, I want you to grip it with your right hand even as hard as you possibly can. The reason is that when the club is going through the rough and the long grass is going to snap the club closed. It's going to come out low and torpedo left, and we need to defend against doing that. So we need a really, really strong grip pressure. The second thing is that the club needs to come down super sharp, because we got to cut through all of this long grass. So to do that, I'm going to put the ball a little bit more back in my stance underneath my trail ear. I'm going to grip it super, super tight and then just make my normal swing. Now, don't underestimate the power of your brain, because that is one of the quickest ways that you can lower your score with this simple tip. And all the simple tip is make sure you're visualizing the shots you want to hit. Jack Nicklaus said he never hit a shot until he saw it. And if you look at the PGA Tour, you see every single player visualizing. The reason is because when you're visualizing, you're using what's called your motor cortex. It processes 11 million messages a second. When you're over the golf ball thinking about all these different logical thoughts, you're using what's called your prefrontal cortex. That only processes 40 messages a second. So when I'm standing behind the golf ball, all I want to do is just ask myself, what does a good shot look like here? So I want a ball that starts on the right side of that right, like by that right noodle, then it curves back towards the left, never over curves the line to hit that stock shot. And then when I stand over the golf ball, get in my good setup for an iron, now I'm just going to visualize the shot and then execute. and maybe make a hole in one. See? It's not that hard. Just if you visualize shots, you can just do that. But let's just pretend that you didn't hit a shot like this and you didn't visualize, and you actually were somewhere in the realm of, we will say, 40 feet from the flag. So we're 40 feet from the flag, and the truth is that for a 10 handicapper, you would 3-putt from 40 feet about 25 to 30% of the time. So if you hit a shot like here, which on this really hard par 3 is really not that bad of a shot, you have nearly a 1 1/3 chance of 3-putting. And the reason is because when you are doing this, you become too entrenched with the line of the putt rather than the speed of the putt. And the speed is paramount. Now, when players are 3-putting, what is happening is essentially they are accelerating the putter too hard, which really at its bare bones, what happens is the grip pressure on the putter changes. So like they take it back, and then as they go through, they grip it tighter. So what I want you to do on a putt like this, really on all putting quite frankly, is all I want you to do is focus on the consistency of the grip pressure. So if my grip pressure is, let's say, a 3 out of 10, I'm gonna get in my setup, and after I visualize it and read it and done all that stuff, I'm just gonna focus on maintaining my grip pressure, a 3 out of 10, so that now I can hit it up by the hole, reduce my chance of 3-putting, and now move on to the next hole with a par. When I was 7 years old, I learned how to play golf, and my dad, who I love dearly, but he's not a very good golfer, he gave me this tip, and it was amazing and helped me forever, and I still use it today. He said, Kyle, when you swing, all I want you to do is to finish and do a toe tap. Now, if you looked at the PGA Tour, I would bet everything I own that every single tour player that you watch on TV, when they swing, they are fully unloaded off of that back toe. So that is something that we 100% should do, because that ensures that we're hitting in balance. It was actually a tip that I used in the first 2 rounds of a nationwide tour event and was winning the event. And the only thing I was doing was I was setting up to the golf ball, making a swing, and I would hold my balance finish with a toe tap finish all the way until the ball landed. And that was the only thought process that I had for the entire week, and one that I continually go back to even to this day. And with these tips, you can start shooting lower scores, and quite frankly, they're tips that anyone can do.